This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some important updates to share with you. The billionaire tax is not completely dead yet. I'll play a video clip of the arguments for and against the billionaire tax. Democrats are going to face a hard time in the midterms coming up, especially since President Biden promised to cancel student loans and he hasn't done so yet. I'll give you the latest stimulus check news like this. 500,000 Americans could see $300 stimulus checks soon, and 2 stimulus checks up to $1,200 are going out now. See if you get one. And Universal Basic Income 2022 applications for $1,000 UBI check open today ahead of April deadline. See how to apply, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a terrific Thursday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below, and I'm announcing the winners for those $200 checks later on in the video. But first, billionaire tax. There are more efficient ways to make the rich pay more, Economist says. So it's getting a lot of slack, especially from rich people. Poor people are like, hey, tax the billionaires. Rich people are saying things like this. Billionaire Leon Cooperman says, Biden's billionaire tax is stupid, probably illegal, and won't pass. Says the billionaire. So of course a billionaire would say that. But so the tax hits billionaires' unrealized gains, which is the value accrued by investments like stocks. So basically, the argument against it is saying that it's taxing on money that isn't even there yet. Take a look at this video clip right here going over the arguments for and against the billionaire tax.
And why don't we just do the simple things in life, like deal with the estate tax, like deal with carried interest, like deal with real estate loopholes and all sorts of other things. What is the problem here that we're having to go into these other sort of mechanisms?
Well, we should do all the things you say. I'll tell you what the challenge is. I mean, I represent a district that has $11 trillion of market cap. People say manufacturing is bled in this country. Wages have stagnated. And look at Rose's district. All the wealth is piling up there, all these billionaires. And by the way, a lot of these billionaires aren't paying the same tax as firefighters, as teachers, as police officers. So there's anger in the country. I tell this to all my constituents who are billionaires, and many of them are saying, okay, we can pay 20%. Now, we can come to the details on how that should be done, but I think everyone can agree that people who've made billions of dollars ought to be paying at least 20% in tax.
When you say making billions of dollars, but in unrealized gains?
Well, first of all, a lot of these folks have realized gains or have sold their stock. It's not like many of them all have unrealized gains. And I understand, look, I understand the problem of unrealized gains if you're giving stock options to a software engineer who's worth $150,000. We're talking about people who are worth over $100 million here. I mean, this is not going to be a hardship for many of them. I have a lot of respect for Anthony, by the way. I mean, he's very, very thoughtful. And I understand the point of the precedent on unrealized gains for people who may be ordinary making at a company or stock options. Here, I think you're talking about some of the richest people in the nation and the world.
So the problem with what the representative is saying, and I obviously think the world of him and love his position on crypto, but the problem with what he is saying is you're going to disrupt the capital market system. And this is a system that's been a font of innovation and growth and job creation for the United States. I don't want to see that happen. Moreover, let's talk about what really happened. We inducted a tremendous amount of money into the money supply through the Federal Reserve. That got exacerbated in the stock market in terms of the wealth disparities. And so now, rather than just fixing that and applying more fiscal discipline, both to the monetary policy and having a better budget discipline, like a pay-as-you-go strategy that Rose familiar with that we used to have in the 90s, we're counteracting this with something that I think will be disastrous for capital markets formation. Moreover, the rich are always going to be among us. The Bible says that. It's okay to be rich, and we like people in this country being rich. What we don't want them to do is move the capital outside of the United States or move themselves outside of the United States due to taxes and the burden of taxation. So I get the point that they're rich and so they can afford to pay it, but you're going to set this thing up in a way where their long-term planning is going to be altered, and I don't want that to happen to the country.
So what are your thoughts on the billionaire tax? Are you for the billionaire tax, against the billionaire tax? Let me know your thoughts on all that down in the comments below. So let's get into stimulus check news. Stimulus, 500,000 Americans could see $300 stimulus check soon. So this is going on in Delaware, and residents could see payments before June 30th of 2022. So these are $300 stimulus checks going out in Delaware. Then another one, 2 stimulus checks up to $1,200 are going out now. See if you get one. Sort of a misleading headline. So basically all this is talking about is the Golden State stimulus check, which was $600 last year. And basically they're saying 2 of those comes out to $1,200. Now, if you didn't receive that first one, you could file your taxes and get it that way with the first Golden State stimulus check. And then stimulus check number 2 was totaling $1,100, $500 or $600, then an extra $500 if you have a family. So basically it's just saying to claim those on your taxes if you didn't receive it already. And then Minnesota governor proposes using budget surplus for stimulus checks for taxpayers. So in Minnesota, looks like separate individuals could get $500 and married couples could get $1,000 stimulus checks. So this is from Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota. It's not official yet, so still in the proposal stage. And then Universal Basic Income 2022. Applications for $1,000 UBI check open today ahead of April deadline. See how to apply. So this is going on in Los Angeles. This is the Breathe program. So the applications open up March 31st until April 13th. And this program will randomly select 1,000 qualified residents from the applications received to receive $1,000 a month for 3 years. So if you live in Los Angeles, could be worth a try to apply for that. And then in Minnesota, 200 households will be chosen to earn $500 each month for the next 2 years. So those are the 2 programs there. And then I think there's a third one here. Yeah, so then there's LEAP, which is going to choose 3,200 families will receive $1,000 over the course of a year. Yeah, and I think there's one more here in Kentucky. No, that one's old. Okay, so yeah, those are the UBI programs. And then Biden hasn't forgiven student loan debt. Advocates warned it could hurt Dems in the elections. So President Biden famously made a huge promise for giving $10,000 of student loans for all federal student loan borrowers. That's a huge promise and definitely won over a lot of votes, especially since it's almost essentially giving people $10,000 in their bank account. $10,000 that they don't have to pay towards loans, $10,000 that could be used for other things. Is this going to hurt the Democrats in the midterm election and especially President Biden's presidential election coming up in 2 years? Take a look at this video clip right here, talking more about the poll numbers and what's going to happen moving forward.
Welcome back. There's the music. You know what that means? We're doing a little midterm preview. It's Meet the Midterms time. Time to re-meet our midterm meter. This is the tool that our political unit has cooked up using our NBC News poll data in history and currently to understand and visualize which way the political winds are blowing by looking at the key factors that influence the performance of a president's party in a midterm election. You have the issue of direction of the country, the president's job approval rating, and the generic congressional ballot here. And just a reminder, right, these are big changes in a midterm. 2010, 63 House seats, though Democrats held the Senate. 94, both flipped. 06, both flipped. 14, the Senate flipped. 18, the House flipped there, as you can see. And what we're labeling as exceptional are the 2 times, essentially since 1990, that the incumbent party gained seats. You can make a case it belongs in decent rather than exceptional. But again, we're dealing with it within the Overton window here. So where are we right now? Well, let's take a look. The current round track in our poll, 71%. What's really striking is third straight poll where the direction of the country has been above 70%. Only been one other time we've had that in our poll. 71%. Look, 65% wrong track is a bad number. 71%, that's why it is in the shellacking category. Let's look at presidential job approval rating. All right. When Bill Clinton and George W. Bush had midterms that went their way, their job approval rating was right around 50 or north of it. All right. When you start dipping below 45, you've got a problem, and you're going to have midterms that are in the bad to shellacking ratio. President Biden's at 40. George W. Bush was at 39% in 2006. We know how that turned out. So you see that's also in shellacking territory. Then let's look at the generic ballot. What you're going to see here is a narrow lead for the Republicans, 42 to 44. And you're going to say, oh, that's competitive. No. in national polling, it's extremely rare because of the way gerrymandering has worked, the way Democrats are packed into districts. You know, they have more 85% districts than the Republicans do. The bottom line is generic ballot. If the Democrats are losing, it means they're going to get walloped. Last time in 2010, Republicans had a 2-point advantage. That translated to 63 seats. So in summary right now, you've got essentially three numbers here that all point into dangerous territory for the Democrats and the incumbent party. Presidential job rating at 40%, wrong track over 70%, and the Republicans leading in the generic ballot. Not a good time.
What are your thoughts on that? Who would you want to vote for? The Democrats, Republicans? Let me know your thoughts on all that down in the comments below. Next, let's get into the winners of the $200 check. So we're in the back end of my Wise Flies channel here. So it was this video. And we are going to go to pick a winner. So these winners are chosen at random. So I'm going to say this. You had to choose the word hopeful. And yeah, the reason why I decided for you to choose the word hopeful is just to add some more positivity. I know there's a lot of bad things going on. So if you could say what you're hopeful for, focus on what you have or what you want to happen compared to what you don't have and what you don't want to happen. Anyways, that's the mindset behind it. Just trying to add more positivity on YouTube here. So let's pick a winner. Gonna click pick a winner and let's see who the first winner is. So AK Girls, hopeful. Congratulations, AK Girlies. If you won, AK Girlies, as well as anyone else who wins, I have my contact information down in the description below. Reach out to me. I just have to verify a few things because I have been almost scammed in the past, not completely, but almost. So I'm just going to verify and then I'll send you the check of $200. The next winner is Lynette Holloway. I'm thankful for the stimulus checks that we have gotten and hopeful that they realize we need another soon. Congrats, Lynette. Yeah, I agree. I think with inflation and all the craziness going on, stimulus checks are starting to happen on a state level. It'd be great if it happened on a federal level as well. And the next winner is Patrick Andrews. I am hopeful that the price of gas will go down soon. I am hopeful that the war in Ukraine will end soon. Yeah, I hope for both those things as well, especially the war in Ukraine and the war anywhere else in the world. War is not a good thing. Congrats on winning, Patrick. And the next winner is Nancy Carroll. Hopeful. I'm hopeful that life will return to normal one day. Yes, I'm hopeful for that too, and I think we all want life to be normal again. Congrats on winning, Nancy, and congrats to all the other winners. If you didn't win this time, I am going to hold another one of these next month in April, so stay tuned for that. And to hopefully cheer you up a bit, here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, I didn't see you there. Guys, can I tell you tip of the day because I'm still in South Carolina. I know it looks like in a different place, but let's get over it. Can I tell you the thing that you should really, really actually do when someone's hurt or you're hurt? You should really do something really good and help them out because they're hurt. You can't let a person hurt. Stay there. I know you guys would do such a great thing, even better than that. Like help them up or something. And you can too. So that's all the advice that I wanted to give to you today. And also this is my sister Kalea. Say hi. Hi. Bye.
Hi, Kalea.